Okay, this is the chapter, which chapter are we on? Chapter 10? Are we on chapter 10? What? I am recording right now. We're in chapter 10 review. We're going to start working back to front though, just because circle equation stuff is fresh in our brains. And I'm hoping to get through this today and tomorrow. So Megan, I'll send you a video tomorrow that has the rest of it on there. Thursday, you'll take a test over this stuff. Can we remember that? All right, here we go.
I think we should take the test Friday.
No.
I agree.
No.
Because we can't start a whole new. Oh wait.
We want to take it before,
Friday.
we don't have school on Friday. And we want to make sure we take this test before the long Easter break because it'll like come out of your brains and whatever. Tuesday because you have track, yes. Okay, so 39, 40, 41, yeah, so we'll figure that out when we come to that. Yeah.
I have golf that day too.
Tuesday, okay, all right.
That's your class.
Okay. All right, 39, the center and diameter. We need center and we need radius. Radius is 7. All right, let's put this together. These are really quick. This guy squared plus this guy squared equals the radius squared. All right, all right. X plus 4, it changes from minus 4 to plus 4. And then y minus 8, don't forget your squares on the outside. 7 squared is 49. That is my circle equation. Not so bad. This is 40. No, excuse me, 39. 39. We're starting from back to work and working to front, kind of.
Please.
We did on last time.
Yeah, and I still failed it.
What?
We'll see. We'll see.
Ask them to use our review on this.
40, the center and the radius. Where's the center?
-2, -1.
-2, -1, radius is 4. Okay? This guy squared plus this guy squared equals the radius squared. All right. X
Plus 2.
plus 2, y
Plus
plus 1 equals
16.
16. There we go. Don't forget your squares. Boop. There he is. On the test, just FYI, I can remember this from like last year. I had a lot of people forget squares on the outside. Don't forget that. Otherwise, it's not the equation of a circle, right? So don't forget to square each individual piece. All right, this one is the hardest one. The center is at -5, -3, but it passes through the point -3, -5. What does that mean?
That's the
The center is here, and like my other point is there, so I can find the distance between those two, and that gives me the radius, right? I have the center. Center is this guy, but I need to know the radius. Radius is the square root of this guy squared plus this guy squared. All right. How far apart is -5 and -3? 2. How far apart is -3 and -5? 2. Okay. 2 squared is 4. 2 squared is 4, and 4 and 4 is the square root of 8. 8, because you're adding together. Now, leave it as the square root of 8. Don't make that a decimal, because when we go to put it into the equation, you remember what happens? Yeah, the square root of 8 squared just becomes 8. Okay, so that's what he is. All right, x, and then what?
Plus 5.
Plus 5. We're going off of this as my center. Plus 5 and y plus 3. Perfect. Okay, so all you're doing is looking for center and radius. Center and radius, center and radius. They don't give you the radius, you're going to have to do the distance formula to find it. Okay? Beautiful, beautiful. All right, 35, 36, 37, 38. Okay, here's the deal. You don't necessarily have to write this down if you don't want to. But here's the trick. In this, if I have a circle, and I have 2 lines that are secant lines, and they're crossing somewhere inside of the circle. If it's crossing inside of the circle, and they give me like this arc and this arc, what do you do to find one of the center angles? This is the add and divide by 2. I'm like finding the average, right? I'm adding and dividing by 2. Versus, let's say I have 2 secant lines that intersect, and they intersect outside of the circle. So like they're crossing each other outside there. What do we do there? This one is subtract and divide by 2, right? I'm subtracting like this arc with this arc, and that helps me find the angle, right? And then there's another one, another scenario where I have a secant line that goes like this, but then I have a tangent line that goes like this. And let's say I'm wanting to find this angle, and I'm given like this arc. What do I do with that? That one's just divide by 2. Okay, add divided by 2, subtract divided by 2, just divide by 2. So we just have to decide, are they intersecting inside, outside, or on the edge of the circle, right?
See, this is the stuff I probably wouldn't remember on tests, but I would do well if I had like.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's look at what we have. So 35. 35, they're crossing inside the circle. So this is add divide by 2, subtract divide by 2, or just divide by 2. Which one? I'm going to add divide by 2 on this one. Okay, now the only thing that it gives me is that this arc is 32 and this arc is 112. So if I add and divide by 2, 112 plus 32 divided by 2 is something.
72.
72. 72 is not the right answer. We're trying to find angle 2. What is 72?
72 is like that.
72 is that one and this one. Those are both 72. So I need to look at this line and then these two add up to 180. So angle 2 will be something like 180 minus 72, which is, I don't know, 108?
Yeah.
108 degrees. There you go. Okay? See how that works? That's like a thing that you might have to do. Okay. Now 36, I try to do something tricky to you too. Is this add divide by 2, subtract divide by 2, or just divide by 2? Add divide by 2, except hold on. This arc and this arc are the ones that you would add together and you would divide by 2 and you would give you that, right? Like divide by whatever 2 and that would give you 36. So we're not going to subtract. They are wanting us to find UW, okay? I don't know what it is, so let's call it X, right? Okay, now let's set up an equation. Sure, why not? Let's set up an equation. What would this look like? If I'm doing the process. Adding, dividing by 2. What are we adding together?
26 and
26 plus x, and then what? Divided by 2 is equal to how much? 36. I'm just setting it up, but now I'm solving for x instead. Got it? Same process. All right? And then what? Multiply by 2. Okay, to get them to the other side. 36 times 2 is how much?
72.
26 plus x is 72. And then what? Minus 26. Minus 26. And x is
46.
46 degrees. Okay, now, that works, and that's fine and all. I would do this if I were you. If this was a test question and I got 46 as an answer, I'm probably going to plug it back in and say 26 plus 46 divided by 2 is that 36. Yes, it is. Now, also, if you didn't want to write out the equation, how far apart is 26 and 36? 10. How far apart should 36 and 46 be? 10. You could have done that too, right? Because it's the midpoint. It's the middle. Yes. It should be the middle right here. Let's see what this one is. 72. How far apart is that away from 112? How far apart is 72 from 32? It's 40, right?
Why didn't you tell us?
I don't know. It's a midpoint. That's the way the midpoint works, right? If you have an 80% and a 90% in your class, that's going to average out to be 95 because 5 units from 90 and 5 units from 80, right? No, 85. Did I say 95? 85. Whatever. Anyway, 5 units, 5 units. Got it? So it's the same distance on either side. That's what an average does, right? So if you didn't want to do it that way, just look at how far apart they are, okay? Whatever. We did that same concept. You guys did this concept. You guys remember doing trapezoid last thing? And they would say, like, this is 12, and this is 16, or the mid-segment. The mid-segment is 16. How far is the bottom?
20.
20, because this is 4 and this is 4. It's the same concept, right? You're finding the average. Okay, the average of 12 and 20 is 16, right? But if they give you the middle and one side, it's just adding the distance to the other side. Whatever. Okay, that was a lot of information that you didn't need to know. Anyway, or maybe it was. I don't know. Angle 4 is what we're trying to solve for on this one. What's the strategy here? Add, subtract, or just divide by 2. This one's just divide by 2, except they're giving you 110. That is this arc over here, and angle 4 is not on that side. How do I do this?
Subtract 1. 360 minus 110.
360 minus 110 is how much?
250.
250. That means this all the way around here is 250. Okay, and then how do I find it? Angle 4. Divide that by 2. Angle 4 is 125. Did you do that in your head? Good. 125. Okay. All right, 38 is asking for angle P. Strategy here.
Subtract.
Subtract divided by 2. Do they give me everything I need? 52 is this one, 18 is this one. 52 minus 18 divided by 2. Something. I don't know. 17. Okay. 17 degrees. If you accidentally add and divide by 2, you're going to get a way big angle, and that's not going to be right. Okay. Do you kind of like look at it like, does that seem appropriate? Okay, you should. Yes, dear.
Do you have TCC prep tomorrow?
Yes. I don't know how that's going to work because it's a shortened class period, so we got to like go fast.
Wait, is shortened tomorrow?
What?
Is shortened tomorrow?
No, it's shortened today. Class periods today are shortened.
We have to do it.
I thought you had ACT.
We could do
Tomorrow.
it tomorrow, because I need help on those assignments.
But you guys are taking a test tomorrow.
There we are.
So you're going to take a test today? And Trig?
Oh,
Who cares about
You're not.
Mm-mm-mm.
You're not allowed to
No.
make that decision for the whole class.
Because I didn't take it.
I don't know.
Is it?
Well, I'll think about how we're going to do that. Ah!
Ah!
All right, 34.
I thought we were preparing.
This is a four-sided figure. We want to find perimeter. Do you remember the strategy for this one?
Each one of the things, just
Um,
like ice cream cones.
Ice cream cones, yeah. So it's split here, it's split there, it's split there, it's split there. This is 12, that means this is 12. This is 3, that means this is 3. We want perimeter, yeah. This is 8, which means this is 8. This is 2, that means this is 2. So this is 14 plus 15 plus 11 plus 10. I don't know if I did that right. 14 plus 15 is 29 plus 21. 29 plus 21 is 50. I think that's what we got this morning. 50 units, whatever the units are. Not squared. 50 units. Good? Happy with that? Maybe? Ish? Okay. Beautiful. 33. Angle EFG is 6x, and angle D is 2x minus 4. EFG and 2x and angle D. Okay, what are we going to do here?
Don't you?
Are these two equal to each other? Are those two angles equal? I'm tempted to set them equal.
180.
Yeah, this whole thing, all inside here, that's a four-sided figure, and four-sided figures are 360. Except these two are both 90. So if I subtract these two out of 360, then these two would have to add up to be 180. Yeah? Okay. So 2x minus 4 plus 6x equals 180. And 2x and 6x is 8x. I'm going to add the 4 over. Equals 184. Divide by 8. X is 23. And then we have to find the measure of angle D. And angle D is 2x minus 4. And I plug 23 in there. And 2 times 23 is 46. Minus 4 is 42. And there we go. Was that real fast? Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. What time did we get out of here? 47. We got lots of time. 37. 37. Okay, let's do a couple more. We might be able to get through some of this. I don't know. Find the value of x. Assume that segments that appear to be tangent are tangent. Okay, which one is going to be the tangent line in this case? RS, right? Tangent is there. And we know from tangent lines that it makes a T, and the T is a perfect 90-degree angle. So they're saying, assume that it is a tangent line, assume that that is a 90-degree angle. How do we solve for x then? Pythagorean theorem. Now, this right here, which is x just this little piece, or is it the whole thing? What do you think? Is it just the outside piece, or is it the whole thing?
X plus
It's
4.
just
Like-
the outside, isn't 4 and the inside part the same?
Yeah, 4 is here, but is x like this, or is it still the whole piece, though? I look at the way that x is positioned. X is centered where it wants to be. So I'm going to guess that x is the whole piece, so we don't have to worry about this being 4, right? If x was like centered over here, then I would assume that this was just x. Does that make sense?
That was labeled.
And then this would be 4. What?
Wouldn't they just label
Probably. They could. I'm going to guess that X is representing the whole piece, though. Because it looks centered across that whole length. So, if it comes down to it and there's any discrepancy, just ask me and I'll let you know which one they're talking about. All right. Which side is side C? X. So 4 squared plus 10 squared equals x squared. 4 squared is 16. Plus 100 is x squared, and 116. And the square root, and they want to the nearest hundredth. How many decimal places is hundredth? 2 decimals. Okay, 116 is 10.77. 10.77. Okay. This is a perfect right triangle. Do you know which one this is? One is something 15, 17?
8.
I think it's 8. Yeah. Yeah. Should we do the Pythagorean theorem? Side C is 17. X squared plus 15 squared equals 17 squared. X squared plus 225 equals 289. And if you subtract 225, you get 64. It is. It is 8. 8, 15, 17. You betcha. Okay, good. Woo. Okay, 32. Oh, but by the way, which on 32, which one's the tangent line? LN. Yep, LN would be the tangent line. Here's my 90 degree angle. 1332. I don't think that's a thing. No. So it's got to be, which side is side C? 32. Okay. X squared plus 13 squared equals 32 squared. X squared plus 169 equals, I don't know what 32 squared is. 1024. And subtract 169. And I get x squared equals,
9.24.
after you take the square root, x equals 29.24. Does that seem appropriate?
Yeah.
What would be not an appropriate answer?
48.
Like something bigger than 32, right? Because 32 has to be the hypotenuse. Yeah? Okay, so just kind of check and make sure that that seems like okay-ish. Right? Happy with that? Are we okay? All right. Should we start with 22 and work to 29 and then be done? Oh, we might not have enough time for that.
We have 5 minutes.
All right. We shall stop there.
I have an idea for trade.
Okay.